Hello and welcome. This is Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, I'm sharing day 11 of the Crafty Advent Calendar. So this is from Spellbinders. It is an Advent calendar that has a door for the first 24 days of December, or whatever month you decide to do it in, because there's products that go perfectly throughout the year. Today we have some sentiment stamps. So there's 4 different sentiments here. I'm going to be using this sentiment stamp set with yesterday's toast die set. I have a fun combination because one of the sentiments says we make a perfect pair, and I thought it would be fun to use the toast set and create a peanut butter and jelly toast card. So I have my pieces die cut. I did the same colorings for the most part as yesterday. So the back part of my toast is die cut out of acorn cardstock. The front part is done with alabaster. I did fawn cardstock yesterday, but I want to use the fawn cardstock for my peanut butter piece. Although, because I alter it, you could use whatever. It could even be white cardstock scraps because it's not going to finish as that. My jelly, I'm going to do grape jelly for this particular card. So I used violet cardstock, and then I am completely assembling my cardstock or my toast for the jelly one, but I'm not going to completely assemble the one for the peanut butter, and that's going to make sense in a moment. One of the things I want to do for the jelly one is I want to put glossy accents on top of that violet cardstock and give that jelly some glossy, shiny dimension to it. So you do need to let this dry, and I let it dry for probably about an hour. When you first put it on there, it's going to have like a milky finish to it, but it does dry completely clear, and it's the perfect finish. Now for my peanut butter, I wanted it to look like peanut butter was spread on the toast. So I'm using some some matte texture paste. I wanted to make sure that it was something that had a matte finish, not a glossy finish. Now my paste is fairly old, so you can see that it is very thick. When you have new paste, it's not nearly this thick, so it'll be a little bit easier to spread. It still works for what I want to do because my main purpose of using this paste is to create that texture as if some peanut butter was spread on there. Now, the paste is matte finish, but it's opaque, so it's going to end up being that white color. I wanted to use a translucent one, but I didn't have a translucent one with a matte finish and something that didn't have glitter to it. So to change it up and have the peanut butter color, I'm using a couple different distress paints. So I started off here with some scorched timber and antique linen, combined them and painted that on the top. I chose distress paint because it has a matte finish as well. Now I'm doing this and I hate the color. It looks horrible. It does not look anything like peanut butter in my opinion. So I bring out some crackling campfire. So it's going to add in that kind of orangey tone to it. Orangey browny tone to it, because I have this brown color with the scorched timber and the antique linen. So I'm just adding a little bit at a time until I have a color that I am happy with, that I think is going to work properly. So when I first squirted out that crackling campfire, you can see that my paint was not mixed. There's a little metal ball in the bottle. You want to make sure to mix them properly first. So once this dries, there's a couple areas that have a little bit of a glossy finish, and I believe that's because this crackling campfire wasn't shaken and wasn't mixed together. It's totally fine. It still looks kind of like peanut butter on toast. I'm happy with the result. Once again, this does need to be left to dry, and I did leave that paste to dry, so I didn't paint it until that paste was completely dry. So there's a fair amount of dry time when you're doing this, but I think the results make it absolutely worth it. So I painted it first time, didn't like it, added the crackling campfire, liked it better, and then thought I should make it just a little bit more of the orangey brown tone. So I added another layer. So there's a decent amount of paint on here, so it's going to take just a little bit longer to dry. If you want to speed up that drying time, you can use a Heat It tool from Ranger, and that will help. It's made for drying mediums. But to start with, I set it off to the side. Now I did use a die pick to poke out any paint that was in the eyes and the mouth holes. You want to make sure to open those up again, so that you can put the little piece of raven cardstock behind it so that the eyes and the mouth have that black inside there. While we're waiting for my paint to dry, we can stamp the sentiment. So I have a piece of hammermill cardstock that I am using for the front of my card. I'm going to stamp this sentiment with some Seedless Preserves distressing. Again, the color was perfect, but I also really loved the fact that the name of the color worked perfectly for what I was doing and the colors I was using. I always love those coincidences. I'm using my MISTI so that I can stamp it a couple times, make sure that I have a nice, crisp, clean sentiment here. And then I can assemble my card up until the point where I need that little peanut butter piece, which was going to be towards the end. My mat is trimmed to 4 inches by 5.25 inches, and my hammer mill piece with my sentiment on there is trimmed to 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. So I'm using that same violet cardstock for the mat. This is the same color that was used for the jam, and you can see that I die cut it out of the center there. You're never going to know that there was a piece die cut out of there because we're covering it not only with this white piece here, but we're going to have die cuts on the front as well. Just a great way to extend your cardstock just a little bit. So I have my sentiment on the bottom. You could stamp it towards the top if you wanted. I tend to like my sentiments on the bottom. I'm going to put my jelly piece of toast on there first, slightly overlap the piece that's going to have the peanut butter on there, and we've got the nice open space to add that peanut butter to it once that is completely dried. This die set has a little heart that has 2 pieces to it, so I die cut one side with the fawn cardstock and the other side with that violet cardstock. I just thought it was perfect with not only the 2 pieces of toast, but that sentiment. It just worked well with that heart. So once my piece here with the peanut butter is dry, I can put that raven piece to cover the opening for the mouth and the eyes, and then I can glue it to the front of the cardstock and let that completely dry. And here's our finished card. To be honest, I don't think the video does it justice. So you see a lot of the texture from that peanut butter because of the texture paste and the paint on top of it. And then you get a lot of gloss for the jelly, and that gloss doesn't really show on the video. You don't really see it too much. You see the odd little bit of shine around the eyes and the nose, the eyes and the mouth, but in real life, it's got a lot of gloss to it. And it looks fantastic. You could just change that peanut butter piece and just use regular cardstock, but using that texture paste and the paint really takes it to the next level. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate the time that you spend with me. I'll be back again tomorrow and we'll find out what's in day 12 and create something with it.